That's what I just told Kathy. Okay, we're done. Yeah, okay. Awesome. We've been doing that.
Right. We can start. All right, so I call this meeting of Hamtramck City Council to order. It's Monday, April 12, 2022, and it's 6:03 p.m. Would the clerk call the rules, please?
Councilman Rafai.
Present.
Councilwoman Jakowski.
Here.
Councilman Chowdhury.
Present.
Councilman Abdelmaki.
Here.
Councilman El Samiri.
Yeah, present.
Mayor Potam Hassan.
Present.
We have a quorum, Mr. Mayor.
All right, let's rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Do we have any community announcements?
Mr. Chair.
Yes, Councilman Chowdhury.
Good evening, folks. Some of these organizations, I don't have the name of everybody's, some of these Bangladeshi community organizations has invited us to the iftar dinner this coming Sunday, April 17th at 7:45. The locations, there's new restaurants called New Medina Restaurants and the old restaurants Reshmi. So one of the organization called Biani Bazar Association of Michigan. Another one is the Gulaf Ganj Association of Michigan. They're all inviting us to the coming Sunday iftar dinner. Thank you.
Any other announcements?
Mr. Mayor.
Yes, Councilwoman.
So I think some of you may have seen Facebook posts of the student groups planting trees with Greening of Detroit, and there is another one coming up this Friday at Kosciuszko Middle School. So if you're seeing people planting trees and you want to join in, you can find out more information at Greening of Detroit, or just be looking out for more information coming up.
Thank you.
Mr. Mayor.
Yes.
And to piggyback on Councilwoman, you do have to pre-register to be a part of it because you fill out a consent form. And it will begin at 9 o'clock at Kosciuszko Middle School, 2333 Burger Street, and go till about noon that day. But please pre-register at the greeningofdetroit.com events page and scroll down about 3 places and it says Hamtramck Planting, and you can be a part of that. They ask you to wear boots or shoes, gloves, bring your water or snacks you need, but we're planning on planting a lot of trees this year. Second announcement, we're celebrating 100 years as a city, and we're looking for 100 volunteers to be a part of a cleanup. And what we're looking for, under the leadership of Max Gilganis, who is our community coordinator for volunteer events, what she's looking for is people to commit for the 16 weeks of summer to pick up 1 bag of trash a week throughout the summer in your neighborhood, at an event, while you're walking somewhere. And you'll get things like gloves and a bucket and be given some tools and such. If you'd like to join in the fun and be one of the 100 volunteers this year, we would ask that you would join at the Clean Sweep. That is going to be on May 14th. They'll meet right out here in front of City Hall. And then also you can pre-register to be one of the first 100, because I think we'll get more than 100, Mr. Mayor and Council. And you can email her at mgilginas@hamtramckcity.com or call 313-800-5233 extension 326. And her name is Max, and she will get you signed up to be one of the first 100 that joined the Centennial event. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other announcements?
Mr. Mayor,
Yes.
I'll remind you again at the next meeting, but I just wanted to let the community know about the prescription drug take-back that's gonna be happening on Saturday, April 30th, from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. And it's going to be at the Piast Institute with the Hamtramck Police Department and the Hamtramck Drug-Free Community Coalition. Their address is 11633 Joseph Campo. And they are having a drawing for a $50 gas card for people that participate, and we're asking everyone to bring their expired and unneeded medication so we can safely dispose of it with the DEA. So again, I'll remind you again at the next meeting, and I'll have flyers on the table. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other announcements? All right, we'll move to proclamations, recognitions, and presentations. And the first one is recognition of PLAV Post 6 and VFW Post 4162. And I will ask the council members to walk with me.
You're gonna face the crowd.
Okay.
Yes. You're gonna stand with the mayor and council as they present this certificate.
Nice to meet you, sir.
Nice to meet you, sir.
Nice to meet you, sir.
Councilman, Mr. Councilman, was council lady, nice to meet you. Nice, thank you, nice to meet you, folks. We wait. Thank you.
So, have three names, but three.
That's correct.
It's the organization.
All right, so first one is appreciation, Corporal John Fergus, PLAV Post 6.
Yes.
Corporal, thank you. Congratulations.
Thank you, Mayor. Pleasure. Oh.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you. All right, the next one is let me read that.
It's the same.
It's the same one?
Yeah.
Yeah, different name on there. Different name, which is.
Certificate for appreciation, Hamtramck, Winlock, Lubnisky, VFW Post 4162. The city of Hamtramck thanks you for your dedication, your time, commitment, and organizational skills made our veterans' war display a reality. We appreciate your kindness and generosity in honoring those that give their lives for our freedom.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Maybe if they could both hold it open,
Yeah.
that would be wonderful. If you hold it open for a minute and then we'll get a little tighter.
Which one?
Get a little-
We can open.
Freddie, yeah, Fred, yeah, if it- something like that. Fred and console a little bit. We want it, you know, Fred's not the tallest man.
I'm not tall.
All right, let's see. Oh, that's beautiful. All right, wonderful. And everybody agrees this can go on Facebook tomorrow?
Yeah.
All right, thank you. Thank you so much.
Congratulations.
Can I just say a few words?
Sure.
Mr. Mayor, ladies and gentlemen of the council, Ms. Manager, thank you so much for these certificates. These certificates are given to us, help us fulfill our mission, our veterans' mission, to perpetuate the memory of our war dead and to honor them. This memorial and the memorial at Hamtramck Park are placed in public places so that they can be viewed by many people throughout the day. They are reminders as to the cost of freedom. We have many beautiful freedoms here in our country. Let's enjoy them, and we know that it doesn't come free. So thank you so much.
And I know you have other things to do tonight, so thank you for coming. Your busy lives, thank you so much. Thank you, Mark. It was a pleasure to
Thank
speak
you.
to you. Thank you so much.
You guys have
All right, so the next one, they did not attend, so we will postpone it to the next meeting. Proclamation recognizing the holy month of Ramadan. Now I would ask Councilwoman Amanda Jakuski to read that, please.
Okay, so the City of Hamtramck recognizing the observance of Ramadan. Whereas millions of Americans practice Islam, an extraordinary mosaic of ethnic, linguistic, ideological, social, economic, and religious groups. And whereas in representation of the 9th month of the Islamic calendar, Ramadan was established as a holy month for all people of the Muslim faith. And whereas during the holy month of Ramadan, Muslims focus on devotion and service to God, purging themselves of impure thoughts and motivations counter to Islam in prayer, family reunions, and the sharing of generous evening meals. And whereas Muslims gather in celebration of Eid al-Fitr at the end of the holy month of Ramadan, now, therefore, Mayor Ghalib of the city of Hamtramck hereby recognizes the observance of the holy month of Ramadan and a month of reflection and prayer for the whole Muslim community.
Thank you. Next item is information item, firefighters march and mass. You wanna?
Go ahead and announce it.
So, okay, Hamtramck firefighters, St. Florian firefighters march and mass. Location, Hamtramck Fire Department, 2625 Kniff, Hamtramck, Michigan, 48212. Event times and details. Pre-event 1:30 p.m. Line up 3:20 p.m. March 3:30 p.m. Mass 4 p.m. There would be food and drinks will be provided. After mass, meet up the Polish Sea League 2601 Edwin Street. The march and mass. This event honors firefighters past and present with a parade of firefighters and fire apparatus from across Michigan and Ontario. The march leaves from Hamtramck Fire Department and travels south down Prompatch Street, ending at St. Florian Church. Following the march, there would be a 4 p.m. mass to celebrate St. Florian and patron saint of firefighters. That would be on March 7th, right? May 7th, sorry, on May 7th, 2022. All right. So we'll move on to additions, deletions, agenda approval. Does anyone have any additions or deletions? If not, I have one for resolution 2022-33 with more details added to the resolutions, including who would replace who of the appointed commissioners and the term ending for each one.
Copies distribution.
Make a motion.
This one.
We make a motion, right? Okay. We make a motion? No?
Yes.
I'll make a motion.
I second.
Thank you.
Sorry.
All right, now we move to public input, public comments.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I have Adrienne Tanan, 5766 Trumbull. Welcome, Adrienne. You have 3 minutes. You can go ahead and introduce yourself.
Thank you. Ramadan Kareem, thank you. Nice to see everyone. To the body as a whole, council, Mr. Mayor, through the chair. My name is Adrian Tanone. I'm a first-generation American. I'm a small business owner. I'm the founding director of customer service for the city of Detroit and our first nighttime mayor ever, where I created and protected thousands of jobs in the city and worked with small businesses to champion small businesses. I come before you this evening. I'm running for the 13th district for Congress. And I just wanted to come here. It would be my honor to roll up my sleeves and work with Hamtramck, a place where I have so many memories over the year from a child to now, where through business, through community, through fellowship, through worship, through still having family and business associates here. And again, how can we work together and partner to bring funding from DC to continue and to champion the great work you're already doing. So I just wanted to come here and I wanted to introduce myself, and it's an honor to be here in front of you all this evening. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you. Zach Halman, 114339 Ford Road. Welcome. How are you?
Good evening.
Welcome. 3 minutes, sir.
Thank you. And my partner, O'Day, should probably
follow me, he's in the public comment as well. Along with O'Day, we're providing of-council services for the city's legal docket. We've been working with Mr. Allen already and getting to know how to basically work the justice system in the most restorative and compassionate way. That's what we believe in. And, but we also balance that with the hardworking efforts of our police, of our building code officers, and of the hardworking staff of the court, who does most of the legwork, as we all know. So thank you for your time. We don't want to take any more than is necessary, and I'll leave the rest to my partner O'Day and Ramadan Kareem. Thank you.
Thank you.
Welcome, O'Day.
Thank you. Sorry. O'Day Merway, hi, Ramadan Mubarak. What Zach left out a little bit is he's of Polish descent. He's been coming to Hamtramck his whole life. His family's coming to Hamtramck. I'm Middle Eastern descent. My mom actually had a dental office in the city of Hamtramck growing up. So every Friday and Saturday I would be in Hamtramck, and I got to know the city very well and the people very well, of course. And we're attorneys. Our office is located in the city of Dearborn, and we help a lot of the community as well from there. So we're pretty well versed in the community, and we really want to help. On top of that, we're really interested in the history of Hamtramck, the culture and everything. We're trying to learn as much as we can. We want to do the best job for everybody involved. So we look forward to working with you guys. We're really genuine, and we'll do our best, as I said. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Lynn Blasey, Favor Street, welcome.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. I had one question about the firefighters march. I'm not sure if that's open to the public. The flyer says it's just firefighters. Okay, all right, cool, thanks. And then I also noticed a little bit of inconsistency in placement for appointments to boards and commissions on the agenda. It seems like sometimes it's on the consent agenda and sometimes it's under new business. So I just wanted to point that out. And then regarding resolution 2022-35, I've said many times before, I'm super excited about restrooms at Veterans Park. I think it will make our park an even bigger asset to the community, residents that live here. You don't have to go all the way home if your child needs to use the restroom. And it'll also make a destination for visitors. When people come to see, you know, old school baseball and other things, they don't have to use an outhouse. I try to avoid those at all costs. So I just really think that'll really be a really valuable asset to our community. Regarding resolution 2022-37, I'm especially supportive of raises in line with inflation. I think it's very reasonable to extend 3% raises, and also the celebration and acknowledgement and like real acknowledgement of Juneteenth as a holiday. I think that's long overdue and really valuable to the community. And regarding resolution 2022-40, I really like the consideration in the guidelines on that resolution to have room for adjustment. Hamtramck has a demographic that is constantly changing as new immigrant groups come in, and I think the resolution leaves room to extend the same consideration to any new immigrant group that does come to our city, given our, our history of welcoming everyone. So I really appreciate that consideration, and that's all. Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Mayor, that is all for public comment.
All right.
Hold on.
Sorry, late
Sneaky, sneaky. Andrew.
And
Sorry, forgive my appearance. I forgot the meeting was starting at 6 today, so I got out of my shower about 10 minutes ago. I stand before you in support of council resolution to extend the Hamtramck Firefighters Association contract today. I think it's a step in the right direction for the Firefighters Association and the city of Hamtramck in trying to mend some fences over some previous differences. We have a lot of other issues in front of us that we're in the midst of working on. Such as the fire chief. We have EMS potentially back on the docket for the fire department. That's something that we've been exploring with the city. So I definitely think this is an olive branch in the right direction, especially given the recruitment and retention issue that's facing almost every fire department in the state of Michigan right now. Luckily, we haven't had a mass exodus of employees in the last couple of years. You have fire departments that are starting their employees at upwards of $70,000 a year right now, and frankly, we can't compete with that. And I think that's reasonable for a city like Hamtramck, but we need to cultivate all the resources we can to keep these employees here. In my career, I think the blend of firefighters that you have in that building right now could potentially be the best blend of officers, drivers, and firefighters that we've seen in a long time. And I definitely would like to keep that moving in a forward direction and not lose those guys to another department so we can continue to serve the city of Hamtramck. Thank you.
You want to speak now or after? Because you didn't mark it. You want to do now? Okay, come on. Abdul from Eveline, Hamtramck, welcome. 3 minutes.
Good evening, good afternoon, everyone. I know it's in between. Mr. Mayor and City Council, City Manager, I would like to tell you that we are affected by these parking meters. Not just business owners, residents and visitors, and they begin tickets left and right. They either don't pay the right one, or sometimes that the meter pay gets issued ticket. I got 2 tickets, just bypassing the meter. So we need some kind of resolution for this meter. We need Saturday and Sunday, and from 8 to 5, as it used to be. Because we don't want to lose customer to the city. I mean, visitor or customer to the business. The city will lose revenue if we lose customers. So please take a good decision and make everybody happy. God bless you guys. Happy Ramadan and happy days to you all. Thank you.
Thank you.
That's it. That is all, Mr. Mayor.
All right, we'll move to the consent agenda, and this is approved with single motion without discussion. Item A, approval of minutes from the March 22, 2022 regular city council meeting. B, approval of invoice register date ending April 12, 2022. C, approval of pre-approved expenditure date ending April 12, 2022. D, resolution 2022-33 approving appointments of boards and commissions with the amended resolution that I just distributed. E, resolution 2022-34 approving appointments of Caroline Faulkner as the Community and Economic Development Manager, DDA Manager. Resolution 2022-35 approving submission of an application to the Michigan Department of Natural Resources Trust Fund for Veterans Park Restrooms renovation project.
I motion.
Second.
Mr. Chair,
Yes.
since we had some kinds of change came into the resolution, can you please shortly brief the name, who replaced who? That's why everybody knows.
All right.
Like Lynn has the thing
Okay.
also.
So we had to amend this resolution because it's required that we specify who replaced who and add the term ending. So I'll read all the appointments. Number 1, Antaragya for Plan Commission, term ending 1/1/2025. 2, Muhammad Muhit, Assessor Board of Review, term ending 1/1/24. 3, Asim Rahman, House Commission, replacing Richard Heiska, term ending 7/10/2024. 4, Mutahar Fadl Housing Commission, replacing Isaac Reeves, term ending April 10th, 2023. 5, Francis Sims Housing Commission, replacing Tom Stockpole, term ending July 10th, 2022.
Thank you.
And they're all here, right?
Yeah.
Mr. Mayor, after the vote, they could come forward and we could swear them in, and they would be official at that time, sign the document, and they would be free to attend those meetings of those boards and commissions.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so there's no discussion here, and all in favor?
Aye.
No
Thank you.
objections? All right, so we ask them to come forward.
Yeah.
Are all five here? Okay. And absent. I'm gonna have them here. Nope, you're gonna.
First
be
oath,
sworn in
then
first.
sign.
We're gonna pass. Okay. I do solemnly swear.
I do solemnly swear
That I will support the Constitution of the United States.
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
And the Constitution of this state.
and the Constitution of this state,
And that I will faithfully discharge.
and I will faithfully discharge
The duties of housing, for those that are doing housing.
the duties of housing
Some of them planning.
And the duty of the Assessors Board. And the duties of the Plan Commission.
and the duty of the Plan Commission
Thank you. Of the City of Hamtramck.
of the City of Hamtramck
According to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability.
Congratulations.
Would they like to take a picture?
Copy?
Kathy.
Fine?
Can they stand here? We take a picture as we are in the back, please,
If you like.
if you don't mind.
Yep, the top and the.
So just
top
stand
and
up?
bottom line.
Oh, yeah, stand up maybe
Yeah,
here.
stand up.
Yeah, then they
If
can
they can
come
stand
here.
here, please.
So,
I know, it's picture day, I've done my makeup.
It's all right, we know who you are. You're a
There's
hardworking
two
man.
signatures.
Oh, you were waiting for the Zoom meeting?
I'll sign mine later. Where's the unsigned?
We stopped that in January.
Okay, sorry.
Would you guys stand and like
In the middle.
space between them so that we can see all of you and I'll take a picture? Stand like space so that we don't block all the elected officials.
It's okay.
I'm short, so good luck.
Madam Heat, if you wanna come on this side, so it can be space so we don't block our.
No,
No, you're
it's
good.
good.
Give you a space.
Everyone looking here? Perfect. Perfect. All right, beautiful.
Thank you.
Is everybody
Thank you,
agree?
guys.
Thank you so much for serving. Yeah.
Yes.
Welcome aboard.
I'll give you your pass a little later. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, sir.
thank you.
Thank you, Gamal.
Think that's on wheels.
All right, we'll move to the new businesses. Item A, Resolution 2022-36, approving site plan for addition to 11651 Conant.
Offer.
Second.
Mr. Mayor, Carolyn Faulkner, who is now our CED DDA manager, thank you for that, under the consent agenda. Will present this item.
Okay.
Hello, thank you so much for letting me present this site plan tonight. I just have a few details. Are you able to pull up the site plan? So this is for the expansion of an existing HVAC store at 11651 and 11801 Conant. The existing building is on the far left, and then just next to that with the dashed lines is the expansion. It does require a site plan review because it is a commercial expansion, and it's going to council tonight because the footprint is changing more than 10%. If it was a very small change, I would just be able to do this myself. Thank you for putting up the site plan. The report that we sent does recommend approval, conditional on 2 items. When it was originally submitted, there was a few things not keeping with the ordinance, but all of those, It's okay, actually. Those have been changed. The very small items that would be the conditions are, there's one detail about lighting. It's important in the ordinance specifies that the light needs to be directed down and not into the street and not onto adjacent properties. So they're just, it's not really a big deal, but we just need details on that. And then secondly, the ordinance requires expansions of this size to have a landscape plan. And that landscaping needs to be completed within 8 months. So I would just need a copy of that landscape plan. So those are very small items. So again, we are recommending approval with those two conditions. And would the owner like to speak?
No.
Maybe they got a question,
Mr. Mayor.
Yes.
Remember that? So I had two questions, and so the landscape plan, like, what does that include? Is that just like you're gonna mark where the grass is, or there's requirements for the landscaping that they have to follow?
There, as far as I know in the ordinance, there's not very specific requirements. It could just be like some permeable pavers where we can have a little bit of stormwater flowing into one of the parking spots, a tiny bit of grass. I did print out an example from Philadelphia. You want me to hand?
I can
hand
look
one
at
to you?
it. I trust you.
Okay.
I trust you.
But there's not really anything
No,
specific that's
standard.
required, it's just that something is required. And I did put, you know, it doesn't need to be, but it could be something that assists with stormwater management.
Yep.
Yeah,
As long as by the side little bit green and he is qualified
yeah,
for that.
that's, I think as long as we're keeping that stormwater in mind, then we're good on that one. The second one was, is the house yours?
No, that's
Are- Okay, the house behind?
Someone else.
That's someone else, and they're fine with the expansion and
Yeah, they don't have
everything,
no
and, okay, cool. Those are my questions.
No problem.
Thank you, Bob.
Thank you.
Issue.
All right, so, no more discussion?
Yeah.
All right, let's call the rules then.
Councilman Rafai,
Yes.
Councilman Chowdhury,
Yes.
Councilman Abramaki,
Yes.
Councilman Jakowski,
Yes.
Councilman Hassan,
Yes.
Councilman El Samiri.
Yes.
Mr. Mayor, resolution 2236 is passed.
Okay, thank you. All right, we'll move to B, Resolution 2022-37, approving tentative agreements between City of Hamtramck and IAFF Local 750.
I offer.
Second.
Do you want to
Sure.
take this one?
So this was a negotiation between city administration and IAFF Local 750, which is our fire department. And we came to agreement on extending the contract 1 year. And there'd be a 3% raise for each bargaining unit member. And then addition of one holiday, Juneteenth, which is in June, and it honors African-American history holiday, and that would be added to the list of holidays that we would allow for the firefighters, that they would be compensated for. It was a good negotiation, and as the president of the union spoke, we're in agreement that this is moving the city and the fire department forward.
All right, any
So, yeah,
discussion?
Mr. Chair, so you're saying extending, adding one more holiday?
Correct.
So total how many days will be?
A year.
13.
13. So you have a 3% raise,
Correct.
so you comfortable with that, you and
Yes.
Mr. Attorney?
Yes.
I'm very comfortable with the 3% because the labor market, we're dealing with this across all departments and across all cities.
Yeah.
And there's a cost to us losing our firefighters. We pay to train them, we pay to outfit them. Every time we lose a firefighter, we have to spend $4,000 just to outfit them with their own gear. So there's a cost to the turnover, not just the loss of training and institutional knowledge, but actual physical hard cost. This was a reasonable, I think a very reasonable ask from the fire department. I think there's been an improvement in the relationship between labor and management there, and hopefully we can do some other good things with them to help save money for the city.
As long as you guys comfortable with that, I don't have no issue.
Thank you. And you saw in the agreement, there's some language in there that says that
I saw that.
we believe service delivery will be better. It's the workforce retention that's really important right now.
Any other discussion? All right, we'll move on to call the rules.
Councilman Al Barmaki,
Yes.
Councilman Al Samiri,
Yes.
Councilman Hassan,
Yes.
Councilman Chowdhury,
Yes.
Councilwoman Chakowski,
Yes.
Councilman Rafai.
Yes.
Mr. Mayor, Resolution 2237 has passed.
Thank you. C, Resolution 2022-38, approving 2021-22 third quarter budget adjustments.
I motion.
Second.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Susan Hendricks is here to answer any questions. I know that I've communicated with you several times that when we get revenue, we can make a budget adjustment. You know, a promise of a revenue does not do that. A promise of spending in the future does not do that for the expenditures. But Susan will go over it briefly so that everyone's aware. I think the important thing here is knowing that this increases our fund balance as we're going forward in our budgeting process.
Thank you, and I just realized I'm going to test my eyesight because it's printed very small. So, council knows that we come to you at the end of every quarter with budget adjustments, usually at the second meeting of the month. I don't believe that this is all of the budget adjustments that probably needed to be done. These are the budget adjustments that I've been keeping track of, and I wanted to get this one done. I think someone will be coming back with more, but we wanted to at least get this one done. In the general fund, we have a significant increase to revenues, $2.6 million in revenues. There are some small things. I'm gonna hit the big things right off the bat for you. We've increased income tax. When we did the budget, we were seeing lower, a year ago, we were seeing lower income tax revenue as a result of COVID. We bounced back a lot quicker than we anticipated. So we've brought that revenue up. You heard from the building department, I believe at the last meeting, that they have been a lot busier, that their numbers are going up, which means the revenue for building permits has gone up, so we have increases there for those. The biggest one, almost $1.4 million increase in state share revenue. So our population increased with the last census, but the state didn't immediately start dispersing the additional dollars to us. It took them a while to do all the calculations and figure out who's going up and who's going down. The beginning of March, they put out the numbers on what everyone will be receiving, and state share revenue for us will go up $1.3 million from what they told us a year ago. So that is the biggest part of this. Another large part of the increase was the revenue sharing from the marijuana establishments in the city. That was just announced about 3 weeks ago, so we have increased the revenue from that. We have already received that check for $225,000. The rest of these are very small. I don't want to. Parking permits. We are seeing a lot more people purchasing monthly parking permits than we have in the past, so we increased that. We increased fines and forfeitures from the district court. That's another area that we had seen a significant decrease during COVID, but it seems to be rebounding, and so we brought that back up. That's the highlight of the general fund revenue increases. We are also recommending some increases in some expenditures. In the city council's budget, we're recommending an increase in salaries for our new, I'm sorry, Kathy, I don't remember her title.
Community coordinator.
Thank you. And we also increased conferences and workshops. When we prepared this budget a year ago, we didn't know if work or conferences were gonna be in person again. So we had left those numbers lower. As council knows, we've gone back to in-person and all of you have been attending. So we are increasing conferences and workshops to cover that. In the clerk's office, we have increases in legal notices. As we've been amending a lot of ordinances and other things, it's requiring the clerk to post additional legal notices. We have also experiencing an increase in postage. So we have those in the clerk's office. In the controller's office, there's an increase because of the amount of federal grants that we received last year. The city had to undergo what's called a single audit. It's a federal audit, which we had not anticipated. So we have an increase in the controller's office to pay for that federal audit.
15,000.
There's an increase in general administration. And I believe we talked about this when it happened, but our risk insurance, we have been experiencing increases in those annually. Nothing that the city has done or nothing the city can do to change those increases. What we're being told is they're just a countrywide, because of unrest in the country, those are going up. In building maintenance, we have an increase budgeted. There was a lot of, last summer when we had the flood, there was a lot of work that had to be done in the basement, and so we're adding this back in. I think it's still a little unclear if we will end up getting anything from FEMA, but it would be better to have it in the budget and then have FEMA come through for us than to ignore that there's a need there. In legal, we increased the amount in legal settlements. We had only originally put $50,000 in that budget, and as you know, a couple months ago, there was a settlement agreed to by council that exceeded that amount. In the fire department, we have an increase for overtime. We currently have a couple people out on workers' comp, which is causing backfilling of positions, which is increasing overtime. So we've got an increase in overtime. We have an increase in equipment maintenance. There was work that we needed to have done on some of the engines. Former fire chief explained it to me, and it was very mechanical, and I apologize, I can't explain it to you. But there was a problem with the motor of one of the fire trucks. And we also put an increase in here. Council approved a contract with Rapid Response, not only for the original amount, but to have a secondary peak time ambulance. So we've also put an adjustment in here to cover that peak time need. And I think, there's also an increase to operating transfers. Last year, when we finished the year, we anticipated a check for 911 services from the city of Detroit. The check was not what we had anticipated, so we actually ended last fiscal year with a deficit fund balance. That's something the state frowns upon. So I'm recommending that we transfer the money we need to cover that deficit in this fiscal year so that we fix that deficit this year and should end 2022 without a deficit fund balance.
Okay, so one question here. So fire department, so it is going 175,000 extra than what was budget prediction.
Correct, that's the recommended increase. 75,000 of that?
175, and out of 175, 75?
Yeah, 175 is the total. 75,000 of it is the peak time ambulance. 10,000 of it is repairing the fire engine, and 90,000 of it is increasing overtime.
so specific, thank you. 90,000 goes to the overtime addition to the whatever we have.
I can offer some insight into a large portion of the overtime. We have one currently, but we've had other firefighters who've had on-the-job injuries. When they are on the job injury.
I know, we have to pay.
We have to fill their slot, and when we fill their shift, we're filling that shift with another officer who's working in excess of the time allotted under the Fair Labor Standards Act, so there's not a lot we can do.
I know. It is part of the minimum employment requirement condition. Okay, that's why, okay.
They can work about 260 hours.
I know, I cannot, yeah, so there is the thing, we have to know. Okay, go ahead.
So I also brought the 911 fund, which is simply accepting or adding the revenue for the transfer that I just talked about that's recommended from the general fund. That's what I was able to get prepared into this first meeting. And as I said earlier, I would expect you to see more adjustments coming for this quarter.
Definitely you have some more adjustment coming.
Susan, I have just quick questions briefly. That is 911. How much were we supposed to get from the Detroit to cover the deficit? Or I mean, we're covering the deficit now, but what amount we were supposed to get?
We expected the amount that we expected to get the amount of that deficit more than we did, but I apologize, I cannot tell you off the top of my head how much we got.
Or what amount we were anticipated? Like, it was, I don't know. Okay.
With all the budgets I've been doing,
That's a lot going on, I know.
I'm not good at remembering details on any one of them.
Because this will be coming, you will be coming back, or someone else will be coming back with the budget adjustment to cover the deficit.
We do this every quarter. And so there'll be another budget adjustment before the end of this fiscal year, but at this time, the 61,000 was the amount covering 911.
Yeah. Thank you.
Related to, Mr. Chair,
Go ahead.
related to this budget adjustment, it's nothing with you. I just want to let my colleagues know, 2009, SSR, right now we are expending $195,619. So just one item I'm try to compare. We used to have a less than 30,000, one part-time employee. He used to come and pick up all those paperwork, finish up contract, and used to submit everything, and we don't have any issue about that. That kinds of thing also we have to think and look at that one. Okay, everything else good.
All right. Thank you, Susan.
All right, let's call the rules. Sure.
Councilman Hassan,
Yes.
Councilman Al-Samiri,
Yes.
Councilman Al-Ramaki,
Yes.
Councilman Chowdhury,
Yes.
Councilwoman Jakowski.
Yes.
Councilman Rafai.
Yes.
Mr. Mayor, Resolution 2238 is passed.
Thank you. All right, we'll move on to D, Resolution 2022-39, first reading of ordinance 2022-03, City of Hamtramck 2022-23 General Appropriation Ordinance.
Offer.
Second.
Any discussion?
Mr. Mayor, we're just moving this from first reading to second reading and public hearing, which will be held at the next meeting. We'll have that posted so everyone's aware when that is going to be, and we'll have an in-depth discussion. This is a time for you to take it home, sit back in your chair and read it, and get familiar. And then we'll come back and discuss it further at the next meeting.
All right. All right, then let's call the rules.
Councilwoman Jakowski.
Yes.
Councilman Rafai.
Yes.
Councilman Alvermaki,
Yes.
Councilman Chowdhury,
Yes.
Councilman Hassan,
Yes.
Councilman Al Samiri.
Yes.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Resolution 2239 passed.
Thank you. All right, Resolution 2022-40, approving translation of election materials into Arabic.
I for.
Second,
Discussion?
Mr. Chair,
Yes. Mayor.
City Manager, this is election materials, or like including ballot?
So we've reached out to the state of Michigan, to Jonathan Brader, who's the elections coordinator for the, elections director for the state of Michigan. And our city clerk has reached out to Wayne County to let them know that this was on our agenda. And this is essentially the same resolution that was passed by the city of Dearborn, and offered by Councilmember Alvermaki. What this is saying that we will make our best effort to do what you intend, which is also put ballots in Arabic, but we'll have to work with the vendor, with Wayne County, with the state of Michigan to accomplish this. There will be a cost for this that would have to be rolled into a budget adjustment later or into our next budget. But this, we already were intending, and I think you all knew this, that we were intending that all of our auxiliary materials, posters, signage, flyer, the things we slip into the ballot with instructions, et cetera, that all of those things would already be as required in Bangla, and then as desired in Arabic. We now do the Bangla ballots, and that is by, the Voter Rights Act and the situation that happened. This is not mandatory, but it's a voluntary thing that we would be doing, that this council would be passing. We're gonna work very hard to make it happen, but it's gonna be in cooperation with Wayne County, the state of Michigan, and our clerk's office, the ability to do it. So, it's our intention, but, this will not make it happen. This will enable us to attempt to make it happen. But all of our auxiliary materials will definitely be able to be. It's just the ballot, and it's working with, our companies company and our colleagues in other places to get it accomplished.
So it is the first step to go forward. That's the good thing, because
Yes.
Bangla ballot, it came from Washington, and the other things also related. So that's good thing. I feel start something. I know it's not going to be all of the ballots. Some of the ballots who want to be, not bad idea. So we started that and see how this go. Approximately cost. Do you have any idea, anything, or not yet?
We don't.
Okay, okay, so it's okay, we cannot predict anything yet.
No, but we'll bring that back to you.
No problem.
As the process moves forward, and we'll keep you updated. If we get a stumbling block or someone says no, then, we'll keep trying for yes. But you gotta realize that this is something that has to be ready long before election
I know,
day. And
Not
we're
right now.
already in April. So we're moving forward, but we're moving forward so that it's correct. You know the problems we have with translations here. So please allow us the
In the
time to do
time.
it, and we might need your help to do it as well.
Council?
All right.
So I thank you for asking the how much is it gonna cost question, because that was one of my questions. The other one is regardless of if we're able to get this done with the state, we're still gonna have like a sample ballot translated,
Yes.
correct?
Correct.
Okay,
It's not gonna happen real quick because there's a lot of involvement.
yeah, but that's what, if we get a sample ballot, at least they
And
can
then we
like
can-
take them
right.
both in and figure it out, but,
So, and we had that in the past, we posted it right in the voting booths,
right.
so the ballot was there.
I
so
remember
people
the
could use
names
it.
were, yeah.
We're gonna do our best.
All right. All right, let's call the roll.
Councilwoman Kowski,
Yes.
Councilman Rafai,
Yes.
Councilman Chowdhury,
Yes.
Councilman Alvermaki,
Yes.
Councilman Al Samiri,
Yes.
Councilman Hassan.
Yes,
Mr. Mayor, resolution 2240 approved.
Thank you. All right, we'll move now to the reports. Now let's start with my report. So over the past 2 weeks, I attended many events. I can't remember all of them, but one of the major ones is the one that took place on March 31st. the Arab American Civil Rights League. We attended with the city officials, elected officials, and city manager, city attorney. And I was honored by this organization, and in the same day I was honored also by the City of Detroit City Council. So I would like to thank them for that. And I would like to thank our city attorney for reserving 2 tables for us, for Hamtramck guests. And that same week we attended 2 grand openings of 2 businesses in Hamtramck. One for it's called Puri Fashion, I think, Bengali store in Joseph Campo, and another one is BD Pharmacy in Conant, also owned by Bengali pharmacist. So we were happy to attend that, to open new businesses in Hamtramck. On April 3rd, second day of Ramadan, I attended an event in the masjid. I gave lecture about how to manage diabetes in Ramadan, educated the people, and how to deal with diabetes and how to prevent any complications and risk of hypoglycemia and other stuff, how to use their medications. Educated them about some statistics and risk factors and preventive ways to prevent complications of diabetes. On the same day, I had an interview with the Table Talk show hosted by Omar Tabit. I answered so many questions for Hamtramck residents. It was live and received many questions that I was able to answer at the same time. First week of Ramadan, we were invited to the Bosnian mosque by the Bosnian Muslim community. Most of the elected officials were there. So I'd like to thank them for that invitation as well. And Sunday, I was invited to 2 events by the Bengali community for iftar. One invitation was by the City Council Chaudhry and his friends, and another one by one of the sheikhs of one of the mosques, Fakhrul Islam. So I would like to thank them too. I attended both of them in the same night. So it has been 2 busy weeks. First 10 days of Ramadan were busy as well. And in between, keep working in the clinic and attend meetings everywhere. So that's all for my report, and we'll move to report of the Mayor Pro Tem.
Mr. Chair, Council, I'd like to thank my colleagues, including Mayor, doing very good job going the event. City manager, I saw most of the time. I cannot attend because I'm working afternoon shift. My job, my responsibility, shift change. So I like to thank you all of them, and doing best and going the community, keeping active, and the business opening, encouraging them. All those things I like to thank you guys. I really apologize. I cannot attend all the meetings because of my responsibility. I came from work. I have to go back to work again today. I'd like to thank a couple of residents, all of them, but mostly Lynn, because we council make a mistake, some of the decision or some of the activities. We don't have enough people to correct us. We used to have a lot of people to remind us, correct us, like a Bill Myers, any other things. So somebody watching us, reading everything, correcting us, that's the good thing. We need to have some kinds of people over there. And city administration and police department and code enforcement are strongly keeping track of the marijuana stores. And I drive around here because I come from my work like around 1 o'clock. So I drive around here. I want to see any activities, any wrong going on. So not that bad what I thought previously. So that's as the revenue also came. We have to strongly keep track how we're doing and make sure it's still one of the store. I see some kinds of the driving and the parking things, and I will mention personally. I'm not going to mention here. So make sure we have to track them on too. So again, thank you everybody. And budget thing, we are going, very improvement is coming. That's the good thing. So only couple of things we have to tune up, and I spoke to my colleagues, and I'm not gonna talk about a lot about the budget because now you guys have to think about it. Maybe your brain, current brain is better than my old brain to improve the budget balance. One of the my council colleague, she said, we have to balance the budget. We have to find out the way to balance the budget. Couple of council members also said that's the positive things. We have to balance the budget. Somehow we have to find out the way. So again, thank you everybody. Thanks for accept my apology. Cannot attend all the council meetings. Thank you again.
Thank you. Thank you. Any of the city councils have something to say? Go ahead.
Real quick, I just want to say something I forgot to mention in the community announcements. There is a basketball game between Hamtramck and Dearborn this Saturday, April 16th. You arrive at 11:45 p.m. The game starts at midnight. And that is in Dearborn. Or no, it's in Hamtramck. It is in Hamtramck. It's at 2400 Denton Street in Hamtramck.
Yep.
And all of the proceeds will go to Yemen, to support Yemen. So if anyone needs more information, I have a graphic, I can text it to you or put it on Facebook or something like that.
Thank you.
Mr. Chair,
Go ahead.
I just want to discuss, I know most of the business owners here in the city of Hamtramck showed up today, and residents, and it's regarding the meters. I want to inform them that, to come back, the next meeting, hopefully we will have something good that will please all of us regarding the meters. So please come back next council meeting, and we will have good news for you guys. So thank you very much, and thanks for taking your time coming here, and I know it's something that a lot of us did not like with the meters, but hopefully we will fix something that will please the entire city. Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Mayor,
Yes.
we have iftar fundraising for Yemen from Promise Relief. One of the speakers, Mr. Mayor, is going to be there and speaking, and we would like to invite everyone to come and support the people of Yemen. And thank you.
Thank you.
Huh?
It will be in the 16th.
April 16, yeah.
Yeah.
6 to 10.
You probably need to post the address and everything on session. Okay. Thank you. Anyone else?
Mr. Chair?
Yes.
Well, I want to, first of all, thanks to our city employees that working for us and leaving us, but I want to give them a big thanks that they have dedicated their time, they work for us, City of Hamtramck. It's sad to see you leaving us. We're constantly looking forward to filling those positions. A lot of things going on behind the scene. You don't see us doing Zoom and other things, but we do meet after, beside the council meeting, we do meet other days with the city administration to make sure the city of Hamtramck is a flourish and becoming a better city. And we're constantly cultivating and trying. So I want to thank the city administration cooperating and listening to the council and the mayor every time we call for it. And Ramadan Kareem, thank you so much for being here. It's a long day for everyone that are fasting. I won't take any more time. Have a nice iftar.
Anyone
Thank
else? All right. Moving to the city manager report.
And I gave my announcements at the beginning of the meeting tonight, but I do want to remind you, we have a closed session, and we do anticipate coming out to vote afterwards.
Okay. All right. We'll move back to the public comments then.
They needed a sleep.
Rule by. You need to speak?
Yeah.
There's a form you have to fill out at.
Oh, Jota nani? ওটা খালা রং করে এটা ও রং করে একটা স্লিপ নামটা লিখে লোগা
Lablazi, Faber Street, welcome. 2 minutes on agenda items only.
খালি আপনার নামটা লিখে দিলেন
This is agenda items only, the second time. Agenda items only.
I forgot about that
Yeah.
rule. Mine was an agenda item.
Yeah, it's an announcement.
Yeah, that's the second meeting, she did.
Joan?
Mine's about parking, is that on the agenda?
Next
Or that's
meeting.
next week?
Yeah.
Isn't there an open comment?
Yeah, the first part of the first public comment before we vote on new business is open to any
And I
topic.
missed that?
Yep.
Yes,
I missed
unfortunately.
I'm sorry.
I
Next
think
council.
you made your point.
Actually, I just wanted to add a quick thing.
Unfortunately, I can't let it slide.
Yeah.
We'll talk after.
We talk after.
So nobody's,
Because I have an idea. Good.
so nobody wants to speak on the agenda items, correct?
No.
No?
It's just,
Okay, Mr. Mayor, no public comments.
So we'll go to closed session.
All right.
before, Mr. Chair, can I make a request? This gentleman, two of the gentlemen are here inviting us to this iftar Sunday. So I know they made it in late, but Yahya and Ruhul Amin, they're just here to invite us to this next coming Sunday iftar on their
So
behalf.
you already, yeah.
I already announced it, and
It's okay, you already received
Stand and
it.
give the detail. Just stand at their space.
Right.
So my humble request, like upcoming Sunday, iftar party in the Madina Indian restaurant. So please everybody come to this iftar party, joining to us. This is my humble request.
You know this is live on YouTube,
Sitting
right?
over and-
So everybody's listening to your very nice invite.
Good.
Please everybody come to this party.
Hamtramck will be there.
What the address?
Thank you.
This is,
I have it. One
It's on Conant, just south of Aladeen.
Medina restaurant, Medina Indian restaurants.
The new restaurant just opened. Yeah. Okay.
We don't need an
this
address.
the location is
11439.
11917 Conant Avenue, Hamtramck, Michigan 48212.
Okay.
Thank you,
All
sir.
right, thank you. There will be another,
I'm
there
very
will,
glad for these opportunities.
there will be another Bengali invitation at the same time. We'll try to make it to both. Right. Thank you.
I'll be at
Okay,
the
hold on.
All right, so we'll move on to,
Close session.
move to closed session.
I motion.
Second.
Whatever.
Either way.
Tiebreaker.
He
Four,
can,
five.
So we can say.
fifth, sixth.
Time,
Yeah.
7:09.
7:09.
Do we know if Joan's in the,
I don't
can
know.
we take 2 minutes and see if she's there?
Yeah, go please.
I got